Hello there. Today we're going to do another beginner-friendly acrylic painting, and this time we're going to do the desert in some brilliant colors. So let's get started. Let's do a really wild sunset sky. I'm going to start with the three colors we always use: benzimidazolone yellow, quin magenta, and phthalo blue. We're also going to have some titanium white. And you can see I've got my colors set out here. Let's put a little titanium white out. Okay. I'm going to start with my number 12, and let's do a brilliant sky. I'm going to start with a little bit of glazing liquid just to keep things workable. And some quin magenta, some glazing liquid. Let's put that down. Little titanium white into that. You know I love a pink sky. I love the pink skies, and you really get those gorgeous desert skies in New Mexico. The sunsets are amazing. Some yellow, a little bit of titanium white. Just blend that. A little bit of glazing liquid helps it blend a little better. And I'm going to get a little bit more quin magenta up here at the top. Wipe my brush. A little bit of the benzimidazolone yellow there. Really want that pretty sky. Okay. So we're going to have a low horizon line here, mostly sky, and we're going to have some purple mountains. So I'm going to start with my phthalo blue, quin magenta, get a nice purple going. And let's start up here and get one of those beautiful mesas started. Let's have a little more quin magenta. That's a little on the blue side. Grab a little bit more of that quin magenta just to bring it right down. Quin magenta down here in the foreground. A little bit of titanium white. Got those really pretty dark mesas. Let's come back up to the top a little bit here and give that a little bit better shape. And this one's a little too regular, so let's break it up a little bit. So we get some nice craggy shapes for those mesas. Same over here. Just using my brush vertically. There, that's a really nice shape up there at the top. Much better than what we had first. Okay. I'm going to bring a little bit of that phthalo blue in down here. And just a hint of that titanium white, not too much because we don't want it to be too close to the foreground there. So just a tiny bit of that titanium white. It might even be hard for you to see that on the camera because it's so close in value. Okay, let's just bring that down a little bit. A little bit of glazing liquid there so my paint doesn't get too dry. And just keep blending that wet paint. There we go. I think this middle section could be lightened up just a touch more. So I'm going to get just a tiny bit of my titanium white, pull it in here. It's a little bit better. Let's go a little tiny bit more. I don't want too much. I do want a difference between that section and this section. I think we just about have it there. So it looks like it's in dark shadow. Now for this foreground area here, I want to shift the color on that a little bit. So I'm going to go over to the yellow and the quin magenta and the titanium white. I'm going to make a rosy brown here. I just want to mute that slightly. That's going to do it right there. Just want to bring that just ever so slight shift in color there. Let's make a little bit more of that. Just bring that in right into that wet paint. Good, now we have a little bit of foreground here. That's why it's so nice to work into the wet paint. It just blends for you. Okay, I'm going to wipe my brush, put it in the water, and grab my number 6, my small brush, and we'll put some muted cactus and things in the foreground. Now I've got this purple going right here, so I'm going to bring my yellow down here. I'm going to grab a little bit of that purple. That's going to make a dark brown. I want it a little brighter than that, so I'll pull some more purple into it. But I want a green that's very, very muted in the foreground here because this is at dusk. So we don't want too bright in the foreground. So I'll start with this green and we'll see if that works. If it's not bright enough, we'll brighten it up. I think we're going to need a little more yellow and a touch of titanium white, just so we can have it sit on top of that purple. And it may blend a little bit with that purple, but that's okay. That's not a problem at all. If you're working right into the wet paint and you pick up some of that purple, that's okay. It'll do a really good job of muting those colors. We don't need a whole lot. Get a little bit lighter. Just a couple of shapes there in the foreground. Let's get a little bit more light. I'm going to put a couple over here that are going to be quite small. And then maybe a couple in the foreground here. A little bit of dark, a little bit of that purple. Why not? I'm going to pick up a little bit of this Quin Magenta and a little titanium white over here. I'm going to get a bright pink. Be careful not to make it too bright. I'm going to pull up here. Very, very faint. Get it just a little bit lighter. You want just enough contrast so that you can see them, but not so much that it looks like the light in the foreground is different. That this is at noon and this is at dusk. You have to have the same kind of light source happening, so you don't want them too bright. Pretty good there. That's looking pretty good. I think we can put just a couple more darks in. I'm going to go to that phthalo blue. Just a couple of phthalo blue all by itself. Don't overdo it. Come over here and I'll come up. Use my paintbrush and go up. Couple over here, up. Maybe one or two here. That's about it. Don't overdo it. There we go. That's a nice New Mexico sunset with those beautiful mesas in the back and that lovely sunset. Thank you for joining me for another beginner-friendly acrylic painting. Remember what I always say, keep painting and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. I'll see you in the next video.